And hey there, guys, welcome back. Larry back here with another little video here. This one I wanted to do a little different kind of thing here. I wanted to kind of do a little comparison, and I'm wearing my Washington Capitals. This is my CCM cap. This was a third jersey, then it became a home jersey, and I figured I'm wearing this because I'm going to be comparing it's three Washington Capitals jerseys. They're all the same jersey, but different brands, the different makers of the jersey. And this, of course, this is a CCM, and of course I have on the back the grade 8. Can't really go wrong with Ovi right now. But the comparison I wanted to make, I have this same jersey in CCM, in Reebok, and Adidas. I have all three brands, same jersey for all three brands, and I wanted to do a little comparison, a little some of the differences that you see between each one. And it's some of it's kind of telling. I mean, it's interesting, and I'm a huge fan of these. I love the CCM jerseys. These are, I mean, even the replicas like this one. This is a replica, but the material is great. It's strong. It's this air knit polyester. It's fantastic. It's comfy. And this is a 2XL. This is a 2XL in basically the good cut. I mean, if you can see kind of how the arms are. It's basically a straight down cut, basically, where the Reebok and the Adidas kind of made them a little more form fitting, and Reebok especially was horrible for this. Hence the reason why basically for a bigger guy like me, I had to go with the 4X's in Reebok, because the 2X's in a Reebok basically fit like a large. I mean, there's at least a size and a half difference. Where, I mean, even a 3X in a Reebok was, I mean, it wasn't like this. It wasn't like a normal 2X here. It was maybe kind of a cross between like an XL and about halfway, just like maybe, not totally a 2XL in this, but maybe like an XL and a quarter. It was just weird how they did that. Excuse me. But I kind of wanted to do a little comparison here, and of course, I mean, like I said, I love the CCMs. I still wish these guys were able to make the throwback jerseys, the vintage throwback jerseys, but being Adidas kind of sold CCM off, so CCM doesn't have the rights to make them anymore, which unfortunately is too bad, because I mean, these were made in Canada and they weren't terribly expensive, which was kind of the point. But let's get into this, and the first one I'm gonna show you is the CCM. And this is the CCM. This is the CCM Capitals, as you can see, the CCM vintage, and it's a gorgeous jersey. I love it. I love the way the stars are. I mean, they made the stars look really nice, really nice. And CCM's just, I mean, that's how they've always been. And of course, you got the stripes down here. They're wide. They're pretty wide there down at the sleeves. And I mean, you've got the blue and the white there. Couple little differences though. I mean, obviously you have the white shoulder yoke there. the all white neck, which, I mean, for somebody, even, if you shower a lot and whatever, if you wear these a lot, sometimes, that it can get stained along here, and white, it shows up really, but really horribly on white. But I mean, the stars up here are really nice. They're kind of, they kind of a shiny, it's kind of a nice kind of shiny material. And I mean, it does. It really kind of stands out nice. I really am a fan of this. Now, of course, the main logo, you've got, you've got Washington there, the Capitals there, and there is a little bit of a difference, as you'll see when I get to the Reebok one. But and of course down here there's the CCM tag. And it's interesting. Sometimes on the CCM tags like this one, they made it in red and blue, red, white, and blue down here. Some of them are just the regular one color, like on the back of, like I think on the back of, oh, if it's on the back of this, I think there's a CCM tag on the back of this, and it's just basically one color. But on this one, it's three colors. They made it, I mean the main part's white with the letters all embroidered on there, as you can see, CCM. But yeah, in the logo here, I mean, you've got Washington in blue. Of course, you've got Capitals, the word mark going across there with the stick and the puck. Now, like I said, there's a little bit of a difference in them. Now, there's no real difference on the bottom. The striping on the bottom, I think, is still pretty much the same. The sleeves, you'll definitely notice a little bit of a difference. And so that's the CCM. That's the CCM Capitals jersey. Now let's move on to the Reebok one. Now here's the Reebok one. Now here's one big difference that you can tell right away is the Washington here is in white. It's not in blue, it's in white. And the letters, they're a little more separated, which I don't mind. I mean, it's still a really nice, it's a really sharp jersey. And of course, this is one of the big ones. This is what I was talking about. This is the, I mean, this is one of the four. This is one of my 4Xs that I have. But and as you can tell, there's not really a difference down in the stripes down here. But one big difference you can see, the difference between the CCM one and here, is the white and blue down here. It's a lot different. It's not nowhere near as wide as on the CCM, and the stars are a little wider on here on the sleeve than they are on the CCM. I mean, they're still the same amount. There's five. There's five each on the sleeve, but they're a little more separated. And this one, because it's Reebok, they did these. I don't think these are, or are they? Well, they might be. Come on, work with me here. Sorry, guys, trying to see if these stars are sewn on. I'm not sure if these stars are sewn on or not. They might be. Oh, yeah, they are. Okay. All right. I was not sure if they were sewn on, but yeah, the stars here are sewn on. I think that's the same in here. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same in here. All the stars are sewn on. And another big difference that you can kind of see here, the stars here on the CCM are bigger. They're bigger for sure. Another reason why I think those Because, yeah, if you look at there, I mean, the difference is, come on, if you can get, as long as I can get them in camera here, they're the size, they're a little bigger. The stars on the CCM are bigger than here on the Reebok. But I mean, they're virtually identical otherwise. I mean, the letters here, they're a little, I mean, they look a little bit different in comparison, especially, the C and everything else. They're a little, I mean, they're a little more wider. They're a little more between the letters. They're a little more wider on here than they are on here. And of course, the big, you know, the big difference, obviously. Now, I mean, this is a 2XL. This is a 2XL, and this fits me about as well as this does. And this one, of course, this is a 4X. Now, again, you have, it's everything's white up here. It's all the same kind of thing. It's white here. You got the white collar. I mean, obviously, this is a more lower hanging collar than this one. And of course, this you have the NHL shield in here. But it's, I mean, just little things that are different on this one in comparison to this one. But still, and of course, this is, you got the CCM here, and this one, of course, this is the Reebok, and so yeah, I mean, there's little differences in there, but otherwise they're virtually the same in a lot of ways. Now I will show you the Adidas one, and here is the Adidas version of the Capitals old school 80s style jersey. Again, another really nice looking jersey. Sorry, gotta get a little water in. But again, it's the same kind of thing as the Reebok. I mean, you got a few little differences here. The stars here, like let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there are some. Okay, I just wanted to make sure it was the same on both the other ones as it is on this one. You got 6 stars here. Of course, the stars are a little different there. And again, they're wider, or there's a little more space here. It's because these are smaller than the CCM one. And again, you got Washington in white here. The letters are virtually, I mean, this is virtually identical to the Reebok. I mean, if you look at it, I mean, you got the Reebok here with the way the word mark is. Of course, you got the Adidas here with the way the word mark is. I mean, it's virtually identical. The only, I mean, this one, the neck does not hang down as much on this one as it does on this one. But, and again, one thing, like with, as you can see down there with the sleeves and how thin the white and the blue is there, you see the same thing here. The stripes are they're about the same size as on the Reebok, but they're a lot smaller compared to the CCM. Of course, the stripes down here, they're basically the same. And here's the here's the Adidas next to the CCM. Obviously, you've got the you don't really have the difference in the stripes down on the bottom of the jersey. Down on the bottom hem, they're not really any different. The sleeves is where you can tell the difference. You hold it up here. Yeah, you can really tell the difference in the sleeves there. And you can see too in the difference in the stars, even compared to the Adidas. The stars on the CCM are a lot bigger. And again, the CCM, you have this nice air knit material. I mean, it's a really nice material. It's Canadian made, which is awesome. I really do like the Canadian made on the CCM. Now the Reebok, of course, the material is not as great on the Reebok. This one, unfortunately, with the type of material it is, this is just this thing. I mean, this material frays so easy. I mean, you basically sneeze, it snags on stuff, and I'm kind of surprised as I look at it. I'm surprised I don't see any snags on this one because this material snags hardcore. I mean, you know, it's just it's a little different material. It's very, as you can tell, it's kind of, you know, if you snag that on something, that thing's gonna snag and it's gonna pull and it's gonna look just horrible. And I have a few Reebok jerseys that look like that. Shockingly, this one doesn't really have any, which surprises the hell out of me. This one, of course, the material is, I mean, this is the Indonesian version. I have seen a made in Canada Adidas. The material is a lot heavier. It's a lot different than this. It's a lot heavier, a lot more heavy duty than even this. But this material is not bad. This material is not bad. It really is not. I mean, obviously it's a polyester. It's a polyester type. But even this one, it's really nice. And I haven't had any trouble really snagging this part either. And of course, you know, the stars, these are sewn on also. You know, nice and shiny stars there. Of course, the NHL shield there. And the stars there. But, you know, I mean, between the Reebok and the Adidas version of this, there's not a whole lot of difference. I mean, other than obviously the size and that. The logo, I mean, the logo looks basically identical. The stars, you know, are pretty much the same distance wise. So there's not really much of a difference between the Reebok and the Adidas, other than really the neckline. And of course, the Adidas, this is a size 60. But again, there's not a lot of difference between the logos here. It's basically all the same. But it's when you get to the CCM. This is the type that they had back in the day. And you can see the stars are different. The logo, obviously, the way the letters are made. The Washington here is in blue. And again, this is not a bad jersey. I love this. CCM is a phenomenal company. And of course, you know, I mean, that's how I always knew that it was good quality, because it was all Canadian made. I mean, you can't really go wrong with the made in Canada there. If it, you know, this unfortunately has a tendency to kind of flip up like that, but again, you know, you've got the Adidas here, the CCM here. You know, I mean, just slight little differences. The stars are bigger on the CCM compared to the Adidas and the Reebok. The stars obviously are different, or they're a little different, but you know, they're I mean, size-wise at least, they're a little different. I mean, they're a little bigger on here. Of course, obviously, they're bigger here on the CCM. They're bigger, and they almost touch each other. If you actually look at that, they come pretty close to touching each other. You know, and of course, the big difference is you got the sleeve down there. That's a lot wider. The blue and the white is a lot wider there in comparison to the Reebok and the CCMs, you know, as down there. And again, the the stars are smaller here in comparison to the CCM, and of course they're smaller here in comparison to the CCM. But they're almost the same kind of size with each other here. Actually, let's see. Kind of a side by side here, if you can kind of see as I bring it in really close up. They're almost the same size. I honestly, let me see. Just scoping this out again. Okay, that's that. Here's the Reebok. Here's the I mean, it is kind of, yeah, yeah. The stars are bigger on the Adidas than on the Reebok. The Reebok ones are way smaller. I just literally, as you put it side by side, I just literally caught that. The stars here on the Adidas are bigger than the ones on the Reebok. Now, of course, they're both smaller in comparison to the stars on here, as you guys have seen probably 3 times now. But it's interesting, when you look at a jersey and you look at in depth the differences between them. It's insane, the differences that you find between these types. And okay, that ain't gonna work. I was thinking that was gonna work a little differently, but it didn't. But I don't know, maybe that's. But yeah, 3 different types, 3 different brands, all nice in their own way. And yeah, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Which brand do you guys think is best? Do you guys like the CCM version? Especially when it comes to brands just overall. Do you like the CCM? Or do you like the Reebok? Or the Adidas? I love all 3 of them. All 3 of them are really nice. I think, for me, the CCM, to me, the CCM and the Adidas, I think, are virtually tied to me in which one I like best. I love both of these. I love the Reebok one too, but the material on there it snags horribly, and I think that's why in a lot of ways I tried to upgrade to the Adidas jerseys. But again, subtle little differences between, here's the CCM, here's the Adidas, just subtle little differences, and the same with the Reeboks, just subtle little differences. And yeah, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts though. Which one do you like best? Do you like the Reebok? Do you like the CCM? Or do you like the Adidas? All 3 of them are fantastic in their own ways. And I just figured I would, because I was looking through some of the jerseys and I'm like, what particular jersey do I have in all 3 brands? Those are the ones that I have in all 3 brands: CCM, Reebok, and Adidas. Some of them I only have 2 of. I have Reebok and Adidas. Others, I don't really have. I don't really have a whole lot of all 3 of the same jersey in the different brands. So yeah, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Which ones do you guys like best? Do you like the CCM? Do you like the Reebok? Or do you like the Adidas? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts in there. But yeah, I just wanted to do that little comparison there, and it's I try to sometimes when I try to compare stuff like that, I try to go in depth on it as much as I can. It's amazing, when you look at something enough times. Again, you notice the little subtle differences. I mean, a lot of people might not realize the stars are different sizes on on one brand compared to the other. But you know, again, which one do you guys like best? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. And I thank you guys for being here and being a part of this. And if you got to the if you got all the way through this video, I thank you very much for it. And for anybody new that's out there that's just cruising around YouTube, you happen to come across one of my videos. Hopefully you like it. Hopefully you like it enough. You'll hit that subscribe button. That would help a lot. The more people that subscribe, the more the channel grows, the more it gets out there to people. And no, I am not wearing just this jersey. I always wear a shirt underneath it. That's just I've always been that way. I know you can't really tell a lot, especially with that tuck there. You can't really tell if there's anything else under this. But yeah, I always wear a shirt underneath these. I don't mess around with that. But yeah, hopefully hopefully if anybody new out there, if you like the videos, hopefully you'll hit the subscribe button. The more people that subscribe, the more the channel gets out there into the ether, so people can find it. I guess it helps the algorithms or whatever the setup that YouTube has. So yeah, hopefully you guys like it. And again, let me know in the comments section, which brand do you like the best of those ones. Do you like the CCM version? Do you like the Reebok version, or do you like the Adidas version? I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. And again, if you're just cruising around YouTube, you happen to come across one of my videos, if you like it, I'd love it if you hit the subscribe button. Hopefully I do a good enough job to have you guys hit the subscribe button. It would be awesome. And again, for my subscribers that I do have, which it seems I'm getting closer to 100, which is amazing to me. And so hopefully hopefully I can get to 100 soon. And when I do hit 100, I will do a little shout out, do a little thank you video for that. And hopefully that comes soon. That would be absolutely phenomenal. And of course, if I can hit 100, let's see where it can go. I'd love to see just where this can go. It's a lot of fun talking about doing this. A lot more fun than I thought it was initially gonna be when I first started. But I was a little nervous when I started. Now I'm kind of getting into it, and I like it. So let's see how much we can get this channel to grow. But I will do so. I will definitely do a thank you video when I hit 100. And yeah. So yeah, hit like and subscribe if you're just cruising your way through and you just happen to come across this video, this channel. Hopefully you like it. Hit the subscribe button. I'd love to have you here. And I thank you guys for your support, and I will see you guys again real soon.